Welcome to another episode of the Real Estate Market Minute. My mission is to help you better understand the latest trends in the U.S. real estate market and share with you my analysis and industry expertise. I want to help you gain an advantage and feel confident whenever you're buying and selling real estate. I'm your host, Mark Salib. I'm a passionate real estate professional, advisor, and investor, and I love what I do. Follow and DM me on Instagram at The Salib Group. Send me an email, mark@thesalibgroup.com. And as always, thank you for tuning in to today's show. All right, folks, Realtor.com put out its 2026 housing report card and found that only 11 states in the U.S. meet that traditional affordability benchmark where a household spends no more than 30% of their income on housing costs. 30%, kind of that magic number of, hey, you know what? If you're just spending 30% on housing costs, well, you're doing pretty good for yourself. And here are the 11 most affordable states, according to the report. And I'm going to get into each one, but I'm also going to tell you why it may not even matter. And I'm going to explain what I mean by that. But first of all, the most affordable state, all right, is Iowa. 25.4% of your income goes to housing costs in Iowa. That is the most affordable state. It's followed by Illinois at 26%, then Ohio, 27%, Kansas, 27%, Indiana, 28.3%, Michigan. Boy, Michigan, 28.3%. All of this in the Midwest, if you notice. Pennsylvania, although that's in the Northeast, 28.5%. West Virginia, 29.4%. Missouri, 29.5%. Maryland, 29.8%. And Minnesota, 29.9%. That's it. 11 states that are considered affordable, according to the Realtor.com report for 2026. Again, that means that you're spending 30% or less on housing costs. Everywhere else in the country, you're putting much, much more. All right, so now when you see this at first glance, a lot of folks just go to themselves and say, you know what, housing is unaffordable. I told you so. So I guess prices must fall. Housing prices have to fall to make it more affordable, right? But is that actually true? Does this really matter that this list is so small in a sense? Oh, short. What a short list, right? 11 states only. Well, I'm going to ask a way bigger question. What if home prices don't have to come down at all? Because that's the assumption, right? I mean, hey, only 11 states are affordable. So prices have to come down, right? All right, so check this out. I think it's one of the biggest misconceptions because median household can't afford the median home doesn't automatically mean prices must fall. The housing market doesn't care whether the buyer is the median local resident. Who's buying the house? The housing market only cares whether there's enough qualified buyers to absorb the available inventory. That's it. Doesn't matter who it is. Doesn't matter how they're paying. And I mean, so it doesn't matter. Or maybe it doesn't matter. I'm going to give you this playbook here. If you go back, and I want you to think about this for a second, because, you know, we've seen this before. If you go back to the 1980s, I'm going to give you the 1980s playbook. A lot of folks forget. We've been here before. During the early 1980s, mortgage rates were above, in or around, ready for this, the 30-year fixed? 15%. Now, if you're complaining now about 6% or 6.5%, well, they were at 15% at one point in the early 1980s. Imagine that. Okay, affordability, well, you want to talk about challenging? Affordability, I mean, was a nightmare at this point. Buyers were telling you and convinced the housing market is broken. Yet what happened in the 1980s? You know what happened nationally? Housing actually did not experience the type of price crash you think should have happened. Actually, what happened instead was rates gradually fell and incomes rose. And affordability just slowly improved And in most markets in the US, incomes did most of the heavy lifting rather than prices collapsing. Well, why can't that happen again? Well, I think it could. Listen to this. Let's run some numbers. I want you to assume today, I'm going to give you a realistic example. Assume today, median household income, $80,000 a year. All right? Median home price, $500,000 a year. We're sitting at a mortgage rate of, let's say, 6.8%. I'm even going to go high. We're not that high, but I'm going to say even higher. Now, that's your example. Household makes $80,000 a year in income. The home price is $500,000. Mortgage rates are 6.8%. All right? Decent example. Pretty realistic in a lot of places in this country right now. Now, under those assumptions, housing consumes about 40% of your income in that example. Okay? So remember those numbers. In that example, 40% of your income. Unaffordable, right? Over the 30% mark. Hey, wouldn't have made that list of 11 states, right? Now, let's project the next 5 years. Income grows 4% annually. Is that fair? That person's income, that household's income goes up about 4% annually. I think that's fair. So, what happens by year one? Well, they instead of making $80,000 a year, they make $83,200. By year 5, they make $97,332 a year. Now, their income rose in that scenario, okay? From year 1 to year 5, their income rose 22%. Okay, let's say the home rose in value 2% annually. Hey, not much, right? It's about below average. That's about what we've seen over the last year, 2%, fair enough. Well, what happens to that $500,000 house? By year 5, it's worth $552,000. The price went up. The income went up. Now let's assume mortgage rates fell by 1%, and we're sitting at 5.8% on the 30-year fixed sometime next year. It's possible, okay? Let's just say in 5 years. Why not? 5.8% in 5 years. How about it? Well, guess what happens? The home went up from $500,000 to $552,000. But guess what happened? Because the income went up to $97,000 a year, and the mortgage rate only dropped 1%, affordability ratio fell from 40% to 31% of the household income after 5 years. Wow. All of a sudden, it's affordable. And the home value went up. And it took 5 years. But that's the kind of thing that happened in the 1980s. Prices didn't fall much. It was income that did most of the work, and interest rates gradually fell too. In fact, in this scenario, the price of the house goes up $50,000 in 5 years. So there you go. Now, there's another reason here I want to get into. Migration. Migration's a big word. It can keep prices elevated too. This is especially relevant in places like Florida, Arizona, Nevada, even Idaho, Texas. Look at Miami as an example. The local household earning $85,000 a year, they might struggle. They might struggle to afford a house, but not that buyer coming from California, New York, New Jersey, Massachusetts, or even South America, Central America, Canada, Europe. They're coming from all over. And they're bringing in, $250,000 plus household income. Hundreds of thousands. Cash buyers, large cash down payments. The market doesn't care which buyer buys the home. If enough higher income buyers come in, prices can stay elevated, even if the local residents are priced out. And Miami's a very, very clear example of this. All right, now remember too that supply is probably a big factor here. You know, Realtor.com estimates the United States remains short approximately $4 million homes. So as long as supply remains constrained, well, you know, prices can stay resilient, folks. I mean, it's the law of demand and supply, right? And we've been seeing this for a while. All right. Now, one other point here. Last one. Affordability alone, I'm going to tell you, it doesn't really cause a large price decline. So if you think, oh, well, it's unaffordable, prices have to come down, and you're waiting for prices to come down, you need to see other stuff. You need to see affordability. Yes, that's a challenge, but you need to see rising inventory. You need to see weak job growth and lower incomes or steady income. You need to see you need to see wages not go up for people. You need to see populations change. You need to see outflows. Are we seeing a lot of people leaving? Right? Or you need to see excess construction. Are we getting excess construction? No, definitely not. And I'm not seeing any forced selling either. You're not seeing any of the signs, right? Aside from just the affordability problems. And that's why prices are pretty steady for the most part. All right. So the important question is, are there enough qualified buyers to absorb the homes available for sale? Because if the answer is yes, prices can stay high. Don't be surprised. Affordability can slowly improve. That's what happened back in the 1980s when income growth caught up and lower mortgage rates helped out. Migration can support demand as well. And even if today's median family feels completely priced out, that's why unaffordable does not mean overpriced, because people may still be buying exactly where the median income household can't afford it due to migration. History suggests there's a very realistic path here, where affordability improves over the next several years slowly, while home prices even continue to make new highs. That is it for me today. Thank you so much for listening to today's show. And as always, if you have questions or need specific advice, ideas, or just some help regarding your particular real estate needs or situation, or if you're just looking to buy or sell real estate in Florida, well then DM me on Instagram at The Salib Group, or just send me an email to mark@thesalibgroup.com. Don't forget to leave a rating for the show, follow, subscribe, help others find the show, and be informed and educated about the real estate market just like you. Until next time. Before we end today's show, stop what you're doing and subscribe right now to Real Estate Market Minute Plus. Listen to all episodes ad-free. Get exclusive bonus episodes and content, and help support the show's growth, longevity, and future improvements. Go to realestatemarketminute.supercast.com right now. You can also find the link in this episode's show description. Check it out. I know you'll love it.